have listened very carefully to the presentations, and I must say they are very convincing. But I still have my doubts that a commission is the solution to the problem. See, in every contradiction, oh, sorry, Valentine, Honorable Professor Julius Ihonvbere, Owa Federal Constituency, Edo State. Thank you for reminding me. Now, I was saying that in every contradiction, in every challenge, there is always a substructure and a superstructure. When you concentrate your responses on the superstructure, you miss the fundamental, the underground, the base that generates those contradictions. I think what we've been discussing since is essentially looking at this superstructure. Another federal commission. We're already complaining this federal government is so big. It's becoming inefficient in many places. Create another federal agency with bureaucrats. We've listed ministries that will be represented. They have been in the federal government at the level of the presidency. The heads of those agencies never attend those meetings. They send the union officers who don't even make a report back. That's if they show up at all. But for me, Mr. Speaker, I think from the contribution so far, I've heard things like police is overwhelmed, it's overstretched. Is the solution to that problem abandoning the police or strengthening it, talking about the training, talking about equipment, talking about mode of deployment, discipline and motivation? If it is overwhelmed and overstretched, get more people in. We have talked about keeping a register of weapons, a very good one. But we've not talked about those who manufacture these light weapons. They're not manufacturing them in space. We know where they are. Are they registered? Do we have an inventory of what they produce, how they produce, and how they sell them? We've talked about to protect the populace. How is this commission going to protect the populace, honorable members? If the police, the NCN, the civil defense, the SSS, and others were complaining that they are not doing it. There's a commission sitting in Abuja here with a director general who can delegate his staff to any staff of the commission, according to the bill. Is that the one that will now protect the populace? We said there are about 5,000 weapons that were acquired by my colleague there, my brother there, from, I can't remember the states, about 3 states. You recovered 5,000 weapons, the police. It means that the police can do it. If they can recover 5,000 weapons from 3 or 4 states, why can't they do it across the country? 5,000 is not a small number. They've talked about locally made weapons are dangerous and the methods of recovery. For those of us from the Niger Delta, we know that mere appeal does not necessarily make people bring back the weapons. If you are paying them for returning, we can bring the ones that are damaged. Or if we have excess and we don't have enough boys to carry them, we can bring a few. But if people acquire weapons to protect themselves because of certain ideologically or politically motivated reasons, they will not surrender the weapons until you address those issues. If a man acquires a weapon to go and rob to feed, the solution to it is not whether you set up a commission or not. It's to create a job for that person, create opportunities for the people, let them be employed. Somebody who has a job to go to, who is worried about the next day, will not be carrying a small gun at night looking for places to rob. But for me, I think there are areas we're not looking at, which I think we must consider before we begin to talk about a commission. The number one is to block our borders. These weapons that are not manufactured there come in from there. So we look at the customs, the immigration, and the police. If you've gone outside Nigeria's border before, you will know precisely what I'm talking about. And I think the solution to this problem, the inefficiencies of these 3 agencies I just mentioned, is not definitely in a commission. The second, that is to cater for those weapons coming in. But for weapons that are already inside, I still don't know. I've read part of the bill, how the commission is going to recover them. That has not been tried. from Abuja? How is going to recover weapons from people in Uzeba, which is somewhere in the boundary of Edo State and Ondo State? It's not cooking. So you have to look at the agencies responsible for internal security, surveillance, and monitoring. How do they do their work better? Any person who has time to watch TV, you watch Border Patrol, you will see how those agencies, how their colleagues do the job. And these are human beings like us. They don't work on their heads. It's possible in Nigeria. And we talk about the waterways. From Aso Drive or wherever the commission is, what is it going to do in Escravos, Patani, Bomadi, and the other areas that are more interior in the waterways? Let's be realistic about these issues. And we know what happens there. So, Mr. Speaker, recently a prominent Nigerian died in a hotel in South Africa. One of the measures that was quickly adopted was to get the CCTV camera. In many parts of this world, in Africa here, if you go to Accra, you go to Rwanda and other places, CCTV is still a very critical weapon, technology used to monitor crime. Recruitment into the security agencies like I mentioned, and training and monitoring and equipping them properly. So we see policemen without weapons going to even monitor elections when people are on a desperate hour. Enlightenment, we've not talked about that. We have National Orientation Agency. I think if they are properly organized and motivated to work, they will do more work in terms of convincing people to submit or return their weapons. The educational system, Mr. Speaker. I am not sure that these issues of light weapons, I know at the university level, yes, there are courses. But at the primary, the basic education level, I think something has to also be done at that level on this issue. Traditional religious institutions. I know many are corrupt, are not doing the work the way they should do it, but the majority, still use their preachments to try to influence the attitude and disposition of people. And they do this without setting up any commission. Neighborhood watch. In my state, we used it. It didn't work as much as we wanted because it was not properly structured. But let us go back and see what neighborhood watch means, how it is supposed to work. And finally, Mr. Speaker, what we are discussing draws attention to the issue of state police. It is people who know the village, who know the language, the idioms, the religion, the way people relate, who know where the bad boys gather at night in the bush, that can monitor them and round them up. You cannot bring somebody from far away. So we're talking about this issue of light weapons. Light weapons will remain until we have the courage to look at the issue of restructuring, devolution of power, and properly bringing in state police so that the people who live with the people, who know their homes, know the smarter, know the market, even in their homes, know where they hide the weapons, when they need to retrieve them, they know where to go. Mr. Speaker, we can go ahead and create a commission, but as a political scientist, I can tell you it will not achieve much. It will just be another bureaucracy, another budgeting, buying vehicles and traveling around the world. But in terms of getting to the root of the problem, at the substructure, not from Abuja here, we will not get at those problems. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.